Hi, I'm Rikki Shea.
I'm Bianca Bernhard.
And I'm Flora Rodda.
Welcome to today's segment on the Congress, the President, and the budget.
AKA Chapter 14.
Americans have high expectations of the President and Congress, such as balancing the budget, maintaining government spending on policies, and keeping taxes low. Throughout this segment, you will learn how the government manages its money. Well, your money.
Bianca! Oh, hi. The President and Congress are assigned tasks through the Constitution. They must appropriate funds every year. If they don't fulfill their duties, the government will head towards a dead end. The three major sources of federal revenues are the personal and corporate income tax, social insurance taxes, and borrowing. Back in the olden days, Social Security and fees collected on imported goods financed most of the federal government. Now, every April 15th, adult taxpayers are struggling to submit their yearly income taxes before midnight. Income tax is a share of individual wages and corporate revenues collected by the government. In 1913, the Constitution adopted the 16th Amendment, which permits Congress to levy an income tax. As a result of the addition of the 16th Amendment, the Internal Revenue Service was established to collect income taxes yearly. Those with the lower incomes pay at a 10% rate, while those with high incomes pay at a 35% rate. The second largest source of revenue for the federal government is social insurance taxes. Employers and employees pay Social Security and Medicare taxes, which the money is deducted from the employees' paychecks. As presidents and Congress have cut income taxes and as the large baby boomer generation has increased over the years, social insurance taxes have gone up more rapidly. Borrowing plays a major role in funding the government. Just like families who borrow money for their kind neighbors or loved ones to make ends meet, the government borrows money as well. The Treasury Department sells bonds, guaranteeing to pay interest to bondholders. Citizens and corporations may purchase these bonds. Yeah, they sure are borrowing money. Well, a whole lot of money. We're $15 trillion in debt. Thanks.
When Franklin D. Roosevelt took office in 1932 in the middle of the Great Depression, the federal government was spending $3 billion a year. Now, that's how much the federal government spends at Sunrise. The government must pay its own operational costs, which makes up a significant percentage of its overall expenditures. Federal expenditures are on the rise. The biggest category of federal expenditures is payments to individuals. The economic crisis of 2008 and 2009 led to a drastic increase in budget. Why are budgets so large, you might ask? Big budgets are necessary to pay for big governments. National, state, and local governments spend an amount equal to 1/3 of the gross domestic product. Two developments associated with government growth in America are the rise of the national security state and the rise of the social service state. National security was a large expenditure during the Cold War and Reagan era, but it had begun to decline before 9/11. Defense now gets about 1/6 of all federal expenditures. Now, the biggest federal spender is security programs. Social Security is the #1 spender. Now it includes disability benefits and Medicare. Most of the budget is a product of previous decisions, says Aaron Wildavsky, which describes the incrementalism process. Policymakers focus little attention on the budgetary base. Agencies can assume they will get at least the budget they had the previous year. Any given agency's budget tend to grow a little bit every year. All recent presidents have proposed, and Congress has adopted some proposals to cut the growth of government spending. Can one speak of an uncontrollable budget? Uncontrollable expenditures result from politics that make some group automatically eligible for some benefit. Social Security benefits are an example.
Now let's discuss the budgetary process. The budget process refers to the process by which the governments create and approve a budget. It all begins when the President submits a budget request to the Congress each February for the coming year, which begins on October 1st. After the President submits the budget request, the House and the Senate committees on the budget each write and vote on their own budget resolutions. The Appropriations Committee in both the House and the Senate are then responsible for determining the precise level of budget authority, or allowed spending, for all the programs. The full House and Senate debate and vote on appropriations bills from each of the 12 subcommittees. The President must sign each appropriations bill after it has been passed Congress for the bill to become a law. When the President has signed all 12 appropriations bills, the budget process is complete. If the budget process is not complete by the 1st of October, Congress may pass a continuing resolution so that the agencies continue to receive funding until the full budget is in place. A continuing resolution provides temporary funding for federal agencies until new appropriations bills become law. When Congress does not pass a continuing resolution by October 1st, it can result in government shutdown, as in 2013. Budgets in democracies grow because the public and organized interests demand a new and larger public services. Some politicians compete for votes by promising to limit budgets. People like government programs, but they really don't want to pay for them. The size of the budget is the scope of the government. The bigger the government, the bigger the budget. Duh. Limits on revenue can limit what the government can do. Well, that was a mouthful. Lexy, over here.
Thanks for watching!
One, two, 3. Okay. Okay. That was a.
Daniela, can you go get the dollar? Because I'm just going to stick her in my butt. Alright, again.
Okay. Guys, if I walk here, that means it's gonna come up and over on me. It already did! Is it playing? Yeah. There was a freaking crotch shot.
Hi, I'm Rikki, Shea.
I'm Bianca Bernhard.
And I'm Flora, Rodda.
Welcome to today's segment on the Congress, the President, and the budget.
AKA Chapter 14.
I'm
freaking goozing up blood.
Did anyone get that? Because I'll zoom in on that and see she's not good.
Can you? Ew, don't
hotshot me!
Ew.
Wait, are you video?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have an idea. Bianca!
Oh, hi!
Okay.
Wait.
No, just start that over.
Okay, do it, because I
I was waiting for it to go up.
Okay, wait.
Alright, that's good right there.
Okay, do your funny one.
Hi! Oh, wait.
Did you see how she looks at her phone, she goes, hi!
Oh, we were talking.
Okay.
Wait. Is that the food? Alright, someone knocked on the door. It's your house. Mom! The Chinese food? No, it's not. That is not the food. I can't see the food. It's not. Yeah, it's not the food. I can't see the food. It is. That is? Yes. No, it's not. I swear.
Two developments associated with the government growth in America are the rise of the national security state and the rise of the social service state. National security was a large expenditure during the Cold War. I heard you laughing in the corner. I was doing it.
Wait,
Stop.
where did you stop at?
Go back up. I hate both of you. I heard.
And then Daniela leaned in and I was like, shit, I was going to go away.
Show.
I didn't even say it like that.
Yes, you did.
Two developments associated with government growth in America are the rise of the national security state and the rise of the social service state. National security.
Why do you do that?
Social service.
I said it. No, you said
Social-
you said social.
Stop it before
You said social service.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Social